Ripple still off. I probably gotta throw that food away I cooked last night in a little bit. I don't know how cool it is, but check it out in a little while to see what's going on with it. One of the times when it's a good time not to have a whole lot. Not all across the board, but sometimes in life it's good to just not have a lot. Various reasons. This specific reason, for starters, I only got a little mini fridge. It's only me eating there, so it's only need for really just a mini fridge, I guess. Don't take up too much space. But if it was full of stuff, I'd have probably been having to throw away a whole lot of stuff, spoiled stuff. And like I said, yard there or anything like that where you could bury your scraps and, make the soil a little bit better or whatever. But it's one of them days off from whatever time last night. Still, if you listen to what the papers and the news, that red and purple news seem to be nowadays, this is probably going to be happening a bit more until they get their power source sorted out. Thank God for the idea he gave me. It'd be beautiful if he'd point me in the exact immediate direction of where I can actually capitalize on that one. But I guess in his time, let's see how it goes. When you reach out to us, don't reach back or answer back. I guess you could probably cancel them out as to reach out to us, huh? Unless they system glitch too. Yeah, Friday come early again. Walking around the house bareback was a common thing growing up where I grew up. There was nobody there really to fucking spy and look at you like that back in them days. Now I noticed they did build one of them observatories across the street, a 2 or 3 or 4 story house while I was going in school. But I kind of know the person who I think built it, because I know I actually helped him out in the early stages. He gave me a couple of weeks of work when I was home, couldn't find nothing to do. Don't know the people who live over there. I know who they are, but I don't know them. But walking around the house was a regular thing. Pool in the backyard and stuff like that. Jump in the pool every now and again. I don't know if that was typical island life, but I guess where we was at, it was closest to being like on the family island, as I guess some other people on the family island actually are. Get to grow up a lot of peace and quiet and things. I had neighbors, but on top of a hill like that, you can't see up the hill. You can see down the hill, but unless you up on the plateau, you couldn't really see. So all around the house bareback. Me bareback, the old man bareback. The cousin who come to do the yard and stuff on the weekends live bareback just about. Or I should say without a shirt. Why? Save yourself some current. Got some fresh air, cool off and thing. None of them strange folks to be around to make you feel like they looking at you with the wrong ideas and intentions and thing. Wasn't really thinking too much about absorbing the sunlight back in them days, but nowadays you see a lot of us bareback. That's probably why. Come to think about it, and that we necessarily say, "Oh, showing off, showing off." People like to work off, "Oh, showing off, showing off, showing off." Walking around in the skin and body God give you is showing off. You all have the same ability to go and crank up yours and make it look show offy if you wanted to. Still do. That wasn't what it was about. And always what we was thinking about. I know back in the day sometimes I used to get a crank up my push-ups and stuff like that, and every now and again by work habit, oh, go in the water every day, go in the water. I like to exercise, and who happened to see me coming out of the water after I swim up and maybe a little bit pump up or wherever and feel whatever they feel, that's on them. It wasn't my intentions to go in the water every single day, but hey, since I have to, I was a swimmer. I make sure I get my 2 hours in every day, twice a day in the water, 2 hours a day, every day. And it comes with the side effects of looking like you've been swimming for 2 hours every day whilst walking home. A lot. Or partially a lot. Side effects are temple maintenance, or just moving around doing stuff and showing off. Strange to say. Father told me that dude in that Blade movie sound Drake. I know they gotta have a bad guy sometimes in their movies and stuff like that, but don't mean what he said wasn't true. How far they fallen to the point where they think just regular moving around is showing off if you got off a shirt. If you look good. I can see the feminine thing. In your own home and stuff, you're showing off. In the gym where people working to look good, you're showing off. Is it vanity? Could be depending on how you think about it. And God have his own way of humbling. Your job is just to put in the work on it. Make sure it's fully functional, and in my opinion, look as good as you could get it to look. If you need to add a little rash or something here and there, little sleepless nights or something here and there, overdoing it or something like that, a little here and there, at times, might not necessarily be considered vanity, but these is. You do what you want with them. Suppose there's times where he don't want you looking your best. So people who might be naturally thinking the worst, the wrong intentions, might not do so or want to be around as much. So who you want to be around could be more comfortable when they're around without having to worry about who you don't want around. Anyway, it's another Friday on Thursday. Yep, it's a Thursday. I hadn't really planned on saying a whole lot today, but I'm gonna sit there and catch me a little bit of sun. Blow just a little bit. While the power is off. The phone is off too for some reason today. That's usually something that doesn't always happen. the internet and the power work hand in hand. So you know that'll usually shut down. I tried to top up a little bit of data on there so maybe I could, use the internet and stuff like that, but it seems like the whole phone system shut down for some reason. SIM ain't working. I got a little message on my phone saying something, but the carrier has temporarily shut down the service or something. Hopefully that's a good thing more than a bad thing, so this power outage or whatever else don't have to be happening so often, wasting food and stuff. Thinking about it how I think, most people are gonna probably run out to restaurants and stuff like that and try and buy up something to eat after this over. Probably hit up the food store again and try and stock up their fridge and stuff if they stuff in kept all that good. Thaw out, go spoil and stuff. If things go bad like this and you gotta cook outside, you can't cook everything at the same time you got inside your fridge and stuff like that. So what you gonna do with it? Have a mass cookout to feed the needy, I guess. Grill out because there ain't no electric power or nothing like that to cook. Not a horrible idea, but hopefully somebody ain't have that in mind and glitch in the system so people could give away free stuff. I know things get drastic sometimes, but hopefully they ain't to that yet, if at all. The only thing I don't like with this system here, on the hill, if the power go off, you just gotta bathe it in cold, itchy water if it's itchy. Here, you can't bathe at all. But we are close to the beach. Ordinarily a plus. When the water's clean. When it's not, sometimes it's best to not get your nuts too salty. The sand critters. Been a nice time to have a little speedboat right now. Head out, jump overboard, catch a little soak out, do some fishing. Carry a little bit of potatoes or some rice or whatever you like for your sides and catch one or two and throw them on the grill right away. And then stock up your cooler. Got a little cooler. Ice up, stock up your cooler with whatever you catch. Bring them back. Stay off too long, folks gonna be needing some food. And Nassau in the flipping wilderness like it might have once been. You got a lot of stuff running around you could catch on land. Still a beautiful day though. What to do today? If anything at all. Don't overthink it. I'm not. No transportation, immediate transportation. Stay right here for right now. Shower up if the current come on in a little bit. Still kind of tired. Been a week or two since the sleep really kicked in. I don't know who it is inside this place, but they sanitizer, like they can't move around without using the fumatizers in their apartment room. You gotta do some sealing in there so everybody don't be smelling everybody. Everything. In other news, new set of tools just reached, so I'll be setting up my little punching bag here in a little while. What to load it with though? I know I'm used to hitting, heavier bags, light bags I guess they're good for stuff, but for my kickboxing stuff, I haven't had any clients especially for that yet either. At least not since I left the gym. But now that I got a bag, some actual gloves, okay, could continue to actually offer that. It would be nice if they actually would call and show up though. People. Good thing I'm not that hungry. That's the next thing. How do I have food cooked? Outside grill I think I was planning on getting. I might actually have to go ahead and grab that little mini grill I was looking at. For moments just like this. Throw a couple of sticks inside it. Cook me a little something. If not, I'll probably have to wipe off with some of this drinking water I bought yesterday. And probably go and buy something to eat, which is not what I would have liked to do. But in a rush, sometimes you might have to. Hopefully they're saying them shutting down the power so they could try and sell out some bad stuff that they ain't been able to sell ordinarily in the store or in the restaurants. Fire sale, fire sale. Constructing, somebody doing some kind of skilled work. It's a real busy neighborhood for some reason. Everything's built, but like everything seems to be being worked on around here. Strangely. A lot of special projects going on. Oof. Getting a pretty good sweat too. Ain't exactly a sauna, but body get to regulating itself. I naturally sweat easy anyway. So whether I want to or not, I'm probably gonna have to have a little wipe off. Sacrifice a little drinking water, have a little bit of a wipe off, I guess. Not going uptown today though, that's for sure. The way things been going, as much as God knows I like to move around, and even if it's just to do my little cruise around. Like I said, I ain't driving, but catch the bus and all every now and again and just have a little ride around and cruise around and see what's different. Hopefully my phone ain't been shut down and power ain't been shut down. Internet ain't been shut down as the response to my applications I sent out yesterday online and possible responses attempting to get back to me. You know, every job ain't a good job, but sometimes them couple of days you go there and try it out, still get a paycheck at least. Go back to the days where people don't attempt to piggyback off of other people's work and paychecks, acting as employment agencies because they don't want to free up your phone for people to call directly. Which brings me to what I said in my last videos. You see things going on around you that ordinarily should be remedied by showing authorities, telling authorities, like the government won't do what they're supposed to do, can't do what they're supposed to do, and seemingly happily comfortable with being that way. Probably think about going somewhere else. Cyber hackers then hack themselves into a false reality, naturally of themselves if they've been faking. But for other people, suppose all them lockdowns and shit wasn't actually really lockdowns for everybody, but just for certain people, whilst other people are still able to go out and be around and do whatever it is they ordinarily do. Like big exile plot or ostracizing plot against some people. Essential services. Healthcare was an essential service, but only because of my semi-elderly folks during pandemic time. They didn't want me or let me go out to do my couple of clients I might have actually had around that time as essential services. Because I was going. I ain't scared of no cold. But since it was apparently a little bit worse than I guess the regular cold or flu, with the semi-elderly parents around. My Grammy and all was there, if I remember right, when that shit first started. She just turned 101. At the time, she was, what, like 95 or so? 94, 95. She got dropped down though for a year. Came to visit for a couple of weeks and ended up having to stay for a year. Based off of news. Not paying attention. to how these things have been happening. I say, who feels it knows it. It don't always seem so coincidental. Thank God for the guidance and patience He gives a lot of us. It might be something else they just don't want to tell us about. I know I was told when I first got my captain license and stuff like that, when they have war going on, one of the things they do is shut down like digital communication and stuff like that, phones and things. So sometimes if you want to communicate, the only way to communicate is like VHF radio or little walkie-talkies and stuff like that. You can't see somebody in person. No phone, no internet. You out there on your boat. You really got to know your compass. You can't rely on them gadgets, because if they don't shut them down, they could send false readings and stuff like that to them as like war tactics. That, I mean, you ain't at war with nobody, but because you got to use the same system a lot of these people using, they shut it down for, I guess, reasons to maybe cause people not to be able to communicate to their whoever they at war with or on or whatever, but it affect everybody else that's having to use some of them things. So here the US, according to the YouTubes and stuff that I be seeing, TikToks and stuff, I know some of that shit is fake, AI and stuff. USA cybersecurity go. I guess I'm learning how it goes. I've seen this. It don't have to be so, but if God have you feeling like not going out and about, might be a good reason to probably not go out and about, or try and get to some place where you could go out and about freely without too much of a hassle or oops going on. I supposedly heard they gone somewhere down south. They supposedly doing something between US and, was it Israel, Iraq, or Iran again? Fighter planes and stuff like that all over the place. If you ain't one of them, even they don't even know what all they be doing sometimes. They just train to just do. Don't ask questions, just do. When you're a soldier, you follow orders. If you're a general, you give orders. If you're a government leader, president, or something like that, you give orders or have your generals in place who know about what's going on. But what they fighting over about have to do with my internet and phone where I am, if that's what it is. The Young and the Restless. You can't watch The Young and the Restless today. Or am I the Young and the Restless? They upset because I made that comment about personal privacy. Or as they finding out, some of the major culprits of world problems was some of their own folks, people. You guys been protecting the bomb? Supposed to protect the people, not the bomb. Not protecting the terrorists. Supposed to be protecting the innocent, not the lamb hunters. not trying to make people look guilty with your side bears. My police record still saying no criminal record. Not even a court history case. I did have jury duty once, well, a few times. Only really got to sit in on 1.5, I guess, cases. So it's not like we criminals. I mean, if there's something going on, it's something bigger than us little people. Sounds kind of governmental. You'll need some more chew gum. I remember when I first started hearing about chew gum, they used to be talking, oh, you can't chew gum in class. And the queen show up because we was chewing gum in class. Really? I can remember when that shit pulled up into the harbor. I think I was still in Cub Scouts and stuff like that back in them days. And I think we actually went out there. I can't remember if we went out there with Pathfinders. I kind of used to go to that every blue moon back in early primary school days. Or if we went out there with the Cub Scouts. I know it was life with these school days anyway. Anyhow, that was the queen, who we knew about anyway. Come to pay a visit to our folks, to our people. Y'all didn't tell that lady all kind of lies, convinced her she needed to come over here just because people was chewing gum in class. I kind of feel like going swimming today, to tell you the truth though. I haven't been in the water now, feels like for a few months. What I haven't seen in this neighborhood hardly at all is any swimming pools. I think there's one on the corner, I see it. I have never seen anybody in it. I'm not sure if that's a house or Airbnb. Pretty nice looking spot though. I know Sun Fun got a little pool in the back, but I checked with them more than once. Only for hotel guests. They wouldn't even let me do swimming lessons there. Same with Sandyport. I know I had 1 or 2 clients back in the day, my little cousins. So I guess, I don't know, maybe their Grammy worked that out for them since she worked there, to use the pool for 1 or 2 lessons back in the day. But even nope, can't even do them there. According to the front desk people I see there, if they actually are front desk people. You know, folks be pretending nowadays. Pretend themselves all the way into other people's stuff, whilst people didn't know they had stuff. And it's a serious thing. You were on folks who, I used to always hear people saying things like, oh, these people thief, they could thief, they thief Jesus off the cross. I know if y'all ain't from here, y'all might hear people say that. I mean, it might sound like you know what it is, but Serious thing. Drastic times. People figure they trying to do what they could to survive. I gotta add that to my thing. If I ever actually get on stage and stuff like that, this comedy thing. People thief, oh, like a thief. It's really that bad? Is it really that bad? And that's a cross on your neck. It wasn't Jesus on there one time? Yeah, one time. But he had somewhere to go after that. So after all this is done, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I figure I'm gonna at least have to probably hit up the store and get me some canned goods. Probably should buy me a loaf of bread. If things really don't level off, at least make me one or two little tuna sandwiches or something. Maybe some peanut butter or I don't know. Oof. Like the real Goldilocks now. And no, I don't dye my hair. That's naturally that color. Especially if I soak it out. Soak all the sweat and the hair grease and stuff out. The sun actually feels really good. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. Probably cruise around by Nesbitt's and have me a couple of practice runs. A little concerned about that spot I used to go and shoot pool at over the last little while. I noticed on the open sign it got a couple little rainbowish colors on the little open sign. I've been noticing a lot of unusual looking folk in and out of there since I've been kind of frequenting the place. You know, I brought them fruity loopy kind of looking bars around, you know, under the disguise of being sports bars, or the place just got infiltrated. Whatever it is. still has been the place where I've been getting at least to play some regular games when I do go. Seems to be a lot of the same people though. I don't know if they all live in this area or if they just coming around say, well, every time I in here, y'all be in here. I know I usually walk or ride around there. And it's way a whole lot of other, well, I know there's, I don't know about a lot, but I know there's other tables on the island. Folks be coming from near and far. To hang out at ain't a whole lot of real girls looking kind of spots. I don't even buy drinks and stuff like that from them now no more, if I don't have to. Drinks was like $3 when I first started going in there about a year ago. Now it's double. What's that about? $6 for a beer. To look at a lot of not men. Nope. Set this bottle out here in the sun for a little bit and let it heat up. I wasn't thinking I was gonna have to, but I might. It might look like abs in there. If you don't sleep for a couple of days, a week or so, a couple of weeks properly, your stuff will start to soften up too. Some might say it, even I said, could be God tumbling. I feel I don't think he has to do it the way it's been happening. But if it is, so be it. He knows why. And if it ain't, so be it. He still knows why. Can't be a show off in a 1-bedroom apartment, but the only one in here is me. Who I showing off with? Me. That wouldn't make any sense. And I don't sell no peep show or donate no peep show ever. So don't tell me I got people looking at me in here. I said they could follow me and not be all up in my indoor stuff. I will say, out of all the places I've actually been to, this place more in and out than some of the hotels I didn't actually been at, watching people pull up to their hotel and out. You can imagine if this was an actual hotel for real. They'd had Atlantis, them flicking jealous. This little small place, as much as people be in and out of here. The same people. I don't know everybody's life though. I don't know what it is. I usually be out. And I be out to work, come home. That's it. Like going out somewhere else after that, come back. That's it. Home smoking, can't smoke inside. Walk outside, sneak around, come back in and smoke. Maybe that's what it is. But ain't a whole lot of smokers in there that I see. Maybe I smoke cigarettes when I used to smoke herb and stuff like that. I used to go out to the outskirts of the yard and things like that and try and play the breeze so it blowing away from the parents' nose and things. These grown folks, you know. Seeming grown folks. Cyberish looking kind of folks, but I never seen people so fascinated with gates and doors before in my life. And parking lots. My busiest in and out days. Work, home, pick up my girl, drop her back home, pick her up, go out someplace, go back home, or go to work, come home, shower off, rinse off, maybe hit up a club. My cousin them used to have the little dance and show and stuff going on, cabaret, whatever. Head out there, hang up by one or two of my cousins and stuff. I used to go around sometimes. I'm around, ride around. Got my little sips and smokes, ride around and cruise maybe. And head back home. In and out at the most, maybe once, twice, 3 times a day, unless somebody send me somewhere. Out of an apartment. Speaking of shrilling, they put this gate there, they didn't crack. Because I used to tell them, hey, that's kind of loud, caused me not to sleep and stuff. I used to maybe excite some of them to want to do it more. Crack, 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 crack. Exactly. Lined up. Even on there. Exactly crack. Where they put the gate. Almost 2 years ago. It wasn't there for the first month or two. But going on probably about a year, just over a year and a half, going on a year and 3/4 it's been there. And I don't slam it. I know I've missed and let it go, a couple of times since I've been here, but not a regular thing like I gotta announce I'm home. Ain't no honey in here. Me to be honey, I'm home. And that's when people don't necessarily know. I guess maybe about construction and stuff, concrete buildings. The way these things designed, they all fit nice snug together, cemented together. You tap on one section of the wall, just a little light tap, you might not feel it, but that reverberation over time, that's how earthquakes happen. Over time, ding 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 ding. The shrill sound might not sound like much, but that will get to rattling sometimes, even the foundation of a concrete building. Like them stories you ever heard, them movies, people go in them caves, ice caves and stuff like that, them stalactites and stalagmites or whatever they call them. Been sitting there for years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, just growing them long spikes. And the wrong noise going there, just the slightest wrong noise. Next thing you know, ding-a-ling-a-ling, whole thing collapse. Avalanche, same thing. Rock solid ice, couldn't have trouble breaking it with hammers and mauls and stuff like that. You could drive vehicles over it, but a little shrill noise, ding-a-ling-a-ling, the whole thing clicking, snap, crackle and pop. Only way they could fix that now is to literally chip away the whole corner of the building and possibly try and fit some new blocks in there, and that ain't no easy job. I don't care what kind of mason the person is. You could patch it up and fit it in there, nice, assuming they ain't have no structures on the inside that might be affected by it. Hopefully they don't. The structures in there affected by it, I'm gonna probably have to be moved to somewhere else. I know they got some other places in here, but that's gonna take probably at least a few days to actually fix properly. Cut the blocks out, size them out, fit them back in, mortar them up. Maybe not that long. I could do it myself, but I'm not that experienced with it. I've done it before, but I have the materials, I could chip it out, but I'm not going to be the one to chip and after all the banging, that structure's been taken. Find out something else, fall out somewhere else. I noticed the back section crack out a whole lot worse. At the other side of the building. That's already totally done cracked all the way through in that corner. Right? I didn't play with Legos that much when I was young. I might have had one set, but other than for monetary purposes, maybe some exercise. Construction really ain't my thing like that. Although I can't do a lot of the work associated with it. I'm glad I remember my grandpa telling me, it was my grandpa, my cousin who I was working with back in the day, you can't bang on the wall and stuff like that too much. It ain't just the block you actually hitting that's always affected. It will literally shake the whole building, like tremors, the whole building. Especially when they got them metal bars and stuff like that. They got, sometimes they call it rebar in there for support and stuff like that. All of them things shake, rattle, reverberate, energy. I hear people say that, I guess, theories or whatever of how they built the pyramids and stuff like that, sound, move as objects. saying they used this, whatever they had back in the day, to create certain sounds that actually move things. Like if you got a bass person, you know, your vehicle, heavy bass speakers in it, you set a coin or something like that on top of the hood. That thing, when you turn the music up, that bass will have the coin dancing and bouncing around all over the place. Ordinarily, you would have to actually physically move it yourself. The breeze wouldn't really move it because it's stuck flat to the surface, but that thing gets to rattling around from the inside. You get to bouncing around like nobody's business. Hey, that sounds like the power just came back on. For how long? I don't know. I guess I should put this water inside. I don't want to heat it up and then have spores and microbes and stuff all up in it. I guess I should start on that now. I wonder if the phone's back on.